Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Today we are doing a crafty DIY style video because I can't get this object out of my head. And it is this John Derian weeping willow tree.
Cry. Cry. Cry.
So you may think I'm over dramatizing when I say that I've thought about this tree every single day since October. I kid you not, I have thought about this tree. I thought about going online and purchasing it. I have scrolled through eBay as well as Poshmark and all those different lovely places, and this tree is selling for over $100. If I can find the original price of this tree, I'll put it here. I'm pretty sure it was like $35 to $45. Definitely nowhere near the $100 these people are asking for. Occasionally you'll get a seller where you'll look at the price of their item and you're like, oh, okay, 70 bucks. That's like 30 bucks less than what everyone else is asking. I'm gonna go check out their little link here. And then you find out they are asking $30 for shipping.
For shipping!
For shipping! Of that tree! What? So instead of giving this money to these little scam artists, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna make my own tree. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna beat you at your own game. I'm gonna make my own version of the John Derian weeping willow tree.
That'll show him.
I love it that much that I'm willing to invest my time to make this lovely tree. I need it in my life. It gives me Sleepy Hollow vibes, and I just want to live in the tree. So I obviously cannot make this tree here where I'm sitting right now, so we're gonna have to go over to the dining room table over there where I have set up everything, and then I'll go through exactly what I'm using to make this tree, and we'll kind of dissect and break down the different elements of this tree and try and make my own version of it, and hopefully I'll make a even better version of it. That's the goal, folks, is to take something and make it better. Just Bob Rossify it, make it beautiful, make it ours, make it great. So let's head over to the dining room table and go over what we're gonna be doing to make this tree. See ya there. I'm gonna beat ya. You guys just missed the most epic dog barking battle that ever existed outside my apartment window. It was very much fun to listen to. Let's get to showing you all the items I will need for this project. First, we'll go over what I'm going to need to make the lovely branches on the willow tree. So I actually have this right here. So this I got from Hobby Lobby and actually was pretty inexpensive because I was looking online for similar branchy situations, and yeah, they were quite expensive. So I definitely recommend checking out Hobby Lobby, especially if you have a coupon or if they're having a sale on all their like fake foliage, then definitely jump on that bandwagon. In order to make it black, I have some of this premium high gloss Rust-Oleum paint, and it's in black. So if you look at the John Derian version, his weeping willow leaves aren't black. They are a kind of dusty gray color, and while that is very cool, I don't know how easy that would be to find in a spray can, so I opted to do a black for my leaves, and then on my trunk, I'm going to do a more dusty gray color, which I think will complement the black leaves well. That way we're not doing just a completely black on black tree. Moving on to what I'm going to be using for the trunk. So for the trunk, I got some epoxy sculpt part A and B in order to craft this bad boy. I got a big hefty one. I got it in the color white. There are a lot of different colors of this that you can buy, but I decided white would be the easiest in case I wanted to customize my color. Then I also have some aluminum foil, so that way I'm not just using all clay. I don't want it to be super duper heavy, and that'll definitely make it a lot more difficult to make the branches, so aluminum foil will be my friend in this crafting endeavor. And then I also have some of this copper wire. just in case. This is 18 gauge, so it's pretty thick. And then to color my trunk, I have some gesso. Yes, I have white gesso and black gesso, and that will be a combination of the two in order to create the gray I would like to have. And then I'm using gesso paint instead of acrylic paint because I don't want it to be a shiny tree trunk. I'm okay with the leaves being shiny. That's why I chose a high gloss spray paint for the leaves, but for the trunk I would like for it to be more matte. So gesso will help me get there. Acrylic paint would just make it too glossy, so gesso it up, baby. Then lastly, for the base of my tree, I have two different options for the base. I have this one, which I think would be pretty cute. It is a spiderweb plant pot. And then my second option is this gold cauldron. It is gold cauldron looking pot. I don't know which one I want to go with. Let me know down below which one you would have chose. Then I have some dry foam here, which will act as filler to go in the base of the pots. And then I'll probably just use aluminum foil to help fill out the gaps that I have. And then for the moss, I actually am going black with my moss. I couldn't really find a color that I was digging, so actually during Halloween I found this branch, and honestly it looks like a moss to me. Like, it doesn't look like an actual plant that would be on a stem. It looks like if you cut the pieces out, it would be very mossy, so that's what I decided to do. Then of course I have paintbrushes, clay tools, all that jazz. So I think I've shared everything I'm going to be needing for this project, so let's go to step 1, building the tree trunk. Let's decide what pot I want to use, whether it's this gold one or this spiderweb one here. And it hurts me to use this one only because this is an antique one that I found. This one I would feel less bad using, but I did want to use it outside. So this is my dilemma right now. So envision a tree, Rachel. Imagine a tree here and imagine a tree here.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna do the cauldron even though it hurts me a little bit inside to use it. Take out all the items inside. Let's get this cute little picture. Let's get out our dry foam here and pick out a piece and plop it inside. There's one little foam piece. I mean, it's a little tall. Wonder if I can cut it in half without totally getting foam everywhere.
That didn't work.
Ooh, yeah.
So satisfying.
Even if it does sound faintly disgusting.
I think it's looking pretty good. Not too many gaps. I think I could actually just use the moss to stick between these little crevasses here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this nasty mess, and then we'll start building on top of our foam to create our tree trunk. Let me tie my hair back so I don't have any, hair disasters. Sorry if you shake a little bit. We're on the same table together, so we gotta work nicely with each other. So from everything I've read from Epoxy Sculpt, this takes between 1 to 3 hours to dry and then 24 hours to fully cure. So it has quite a bit of working time, so I'm not too worried about speed, but let's go ahead and build our aluminum base to try and figure out a good shape we want to make for our tree, and then we'll start putting the clay over top of it. This is a brand new aluminum foil roll, so let's hope I don't mess up when I lift this off. Don't rip the cardboard. Oh, perfect job by me. Thank you so much. So this is maybe going to be a little branch guy. I'll probably have to stick a wire here to stick it into the main trunk, but I think that's how I'm going to start shaping things. I may insert a voice over here because I don't really know what to say during this part. I'm just kind of going to concentrate on what I'm doing and hope that I can get a good tree trunk built, but I think we're making progress with something here. what I have going on. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing with this. So right now here's my base of my tree, and I'm just kind of adding in aluminum foil inside this crazy long guy. I feel like I'm making a balloon animal right now because this is just hanging all over the place. But I'm just trying to like build my tree. So far this is kind of the shape I have down here. And then I'm just going to keep shaping the upper part to finish the branch that's going this direction. And then I'm going to be adding another branch going this direction, because it seems like looking at his weeping willow tree, it has like 2 major branches and then it kind of weans off from there. So I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'll meet up with you guys once this part of the project is complete, because honestly, I'm pretty sure the sound of aluminum foil going is like the worst sound ever. So meet you guys back here when I actually have my whole tree done. Update. So I've officially made my aluminum tree, and I actually really like how it looks. I try to make sure that at all angles it looked good, and I'm thinking it does. So I'm showing you guys the front side. I'm on the back side of the tree. So honestly, I'm kind of proud that I made it balanced so it stands on its own. Obviously, I'm going to reinforce it by putting some wire into the foam and then sticking it on, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it how it is. I just thought it was funny that somehow I made it balanced.
Send word to the Fire Lord immediately. The Avatar has returned.
So I was going to do the clay next. However, I think what we should move on to is the weeping willow branches, so I can kind of figure out how I want to place them on our weeping willow. So I didn't end up spray painting all of this black. I only did about half of it. Hopefully that'll be enough. Actually, I think it'll be more than enough, but didn't want to waste all the black spray paint on this since I knew that I wouldn't use all of it. So here is the black. I do like how glossy it is. I think it'll be a nice contrast. So I have my wire cutters here. So thought process, after I get these cut and kind of figure out how I want to lay them out on our aluminum foil, I think what I'm going to do is put on the clay and then do impressions of where I want these to go with possibly the copper wire or something. That way there's already an indent of where they're supposed to go, but there's not a bunch of branches in the way when I'm trying to actually paint the trunk. And then once the paint has dried, I can stick all the little weeping willow branches on, and that'll be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and place these all along the tree here, and then we'll meet back here once I figured out an arrangement that I like. Got all of my little branchy pieces cut out, and you know, like here's kind of like how I'm hoping it will look once it's all glued on and everything. So now we're ready to continue to the next step, which is our epoxy clay building. Wow. So I think I've prepped everything I needed to prep. I added some saran wrap around the cauldron. That way I hopefully don't get any of the epoxy sculpt on it, and I keep it nice and pristine. And then I've attached my tree onto the foam. That way it won't move on me when I'm trying to attach the clay. So let me move this to the side over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and point you guys down this direction so we can start rolling out our clay and hope that this step doesn't ruin everything. I'm pretty nervous about it, you guys, not gonna lie. Welcome to another great angle featuring me, your co-host, Rachel. Don't ask who the host is, I don't know. So here we have our epoxy sculpt. I have a weigh scale over here because epoxy sculpt you have to do a 50-50 ratio, so I do 50 of part A, 50 of part B. Okay, so we got our clay tools over here, out of sight from frame, but they're here, folks, they're right there. Let's open up this. I don't recommend sniffing this, but why does it smell like a Dorito? Like the cheese Doritos. So I'm back with some gloves and ready to do some experiments here. So I don't really know how much I'm gonna need, so should I grab a lot or a little? I don't know.
Gosh, this is sticky.
We got our part A. Let's put that to the side. God, it smells like Doritos. Am I crazy? Does anyone else think that? 150. Perfect. So it says mix and knead together for 2 minutes until thoroughly combined and a uniform color is achieved. Note incomplete mixing will give poor results and allow mixed product to rest 5 minutes for better handling. Do you hear how sticky this is? I feel like I'm playing with a fruit roll-up that someone slobbered all over. Let's hope that I mix this thoroughly enough. It still feels slightly sticky, so I'm not sure like what it's supposed to feel like, because I've never handled this clay before. We're just gonna stop having an anxiety attack over here and continue on. Okay, we got some water. Okay, let's get some water on this guy. Okay.
Get your hands out of the gutter!
It was at this moment that Rachel realized it would be easier to do this with her hands. Okay, so far so good, I think. And then once I get the base layer down, I'll start adding on cute little details. He has these cute little knots in the tree, which, you know, probably house some cute little owls or something. So I'll meet back with you guys once this is completely covered with the epoxy sculpt, and then we'll try and add some textures together, because that'll be, I feel like, more exciting probably than adding on thin sheets of clay onto this bad boy. Okay, let me bring you guys over here so you can see how it's looking. Use the mess in the background, but here is the tree. It's all covered in its first layer. As you can see, I had to put the branches on some support over here because they were starting to sag. So hopefully this holds it up while it cures, and then we can have a standing tree. I probably should have added some more wire into it, but I didn't really think about that until, you know, now. So you know what, we've ran into our first problem, but let's hope that when this cures, it cures really hard so that way it won't sag, but I'm a little bit nervous about it. But we'll add on the details now, since this is pretty much the step that I'm at, and I don't want my last little bit of clay to harden too much. So I pop in here since it's weird to talk to no one. So I need to make sure I add in the details that I saw in the John Derian weeping willow tree, but I might add some other things if I so feel like it, since this is my own sculpt and I can do whatever I want. But let's make sure we at least add the two things I noticed on there, which were the weeping willow face. Gotta make sure we have a grandmother willow tree that can give us all the guidance we need, and then I need to make sure I add in some more of the root situation at the bottom, and we'll be good to go. So this tool has actually been quite helpful with creating texture and smoothing things out. It has like a pokey end over here, and then this rounded ball end. And the rounded ball end has been quite useful for creating the texture that I need and then smoothing out areas of the tree. So I'm actually just going to use this to create the knot in the tree, which you can see right here. I've already made one, and then the picture shows it has two. So I'm gonna have one higher here, and then I'll lower you down because you're not quite in view. There you go. Seems to be one that is a little bit lower. I'm trying to look at the texture on the tree, so it looks like maybe if I use this tool and just kind of run it along like that before it hardens, it could give it some good texture. Don't want to go too deep though, otherwise I'll expose the aluminum, but that could add some texture, I would think. Otherwise I'll just roll around with the edge here, because I feel like either way, we're gonna get some good texture like this. Update time. So I'll show you what the sculpture is looking like, and then I'm gonna let it dry for 2 hours because I'm a little bit, I don't know, worried about painting on it when it's just this fresh of clay. So I think that'll make me feel a little bit better about it, and then hopefully the little limbs will stay up without these supports I have on them. I'm a little bit worried, so we'll see how that goes. Here you can see I tried to make some texture. I think I did a fairly good job. There are some crackly bits, but I feel like once I paint them, you won't see them. This clay isn't supposed to crack, so it shouldn't be cracks that I'm seeing. I think it's just maybe some dry patches. You can see where I put some holes for the little willow leaves when the time comes. There's just a quick update. I'll see you guys in about 2 hours, which will be 9 o'clock-ish. So the clay took me quite a long time to do, which I was expecting to take the longest anyway, so. Alright. Hi, Editing Rachel here. So I was trying to find the alright Owen Wilson gif. So yeah, couldn't find it, but you know what I did find was this Cranberries music video where they say alright. And look who's in it. It's freaking Elijah Wood! Did anyone know this? Am I just discovering this for the first time? Like, did anyone else know this?
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to continue our journey of making the weeping willow tree over here. So I guess we'll head to the next step, which was to paint our willow tree. It is just living its best life over here. Not gonna try and touch it too much in terms of moving it to show you guys how it's doing, but I think I will angle you down so we can mix up some paint together. This is when my millennialness comes in handy. You never know when you might need a food container for other uses. These work great for paints and stuff like that, so take some tips from the millennial pro over here, okay? So like I said, we got black gesso, we got white gesso, but I think I've got my gray color, the gray one. I'm gonna start out with this one, and I probably need more than one coat anyway, so if I end up not liking it, it's not the end of the world. I could add a darker gray. So the epoxy sculpt said we could paint this wet, so let's pray that they are accurate, because it seems kind of weird to paint on something like this when it's not fully cured, but I guess you can put paint and resin and it turns out alright, so. Envision this all gray. I'm going to hope that I don't accidentally spill the paintbrush in the pot over here. Okay. Now we hold up a branch. Is that a good combo? Is it too light? Okay, I think it's too light. Let me add some more black to the paint. Executive decision. Is my face getting even shinier than it was before? I didn't think that was possible, but here we are. So now that I've painted my glorious tree, what I'm calling it Dolphin Gray, I'm going to let it rest for the rest of the night to fully cure before I take off the little supports over here, because I don't know. I don't want to move these until I know that this is sat for 24 hours. So we're not going to touch it. We're going to let this thing simmer with its fresh dolphiny coat and leave it for the night. So all that's left for tomorrow is insert these little willow leaves into the holes I made, securing them with hot glue, and then adding in the moss. To moment of truth, it has been about a day since I did the clay portion, so we'll see if this stands. Okay, so far so good. Oh please, this side. Oh my gosh, it stayed, you guys. Oh, whew, I'm so excited. Ah!
Best day ever!
Our weeping willow survives. So I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue down the weeping willow leaves and then the moss. And I shall reveal it to you guys. What is that? Where did it come from? It's all over my pants. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I did my own version of this weeping willow tree. I'm so happy to have it in my life. I just gotta find a spot for it. So in total, this took me about a day and a half to make. Obviously, you have to accommodate for the spray paint and how long the spray paint needs to dry, and then you also need to accommodate, if you use epoxy sculpt like I did, that it takes 24 hours to fully cure. Let me know down below if you guys also missed out on this weeping willow tree and you're just heartbroken about it like I am, because I feel like no one else liked this tree, but somehow they were all sold out and I don't understand what's going on. If you have any questions about anything that I did throughout the process of making this tree, please let me know down below and I'll try my best to hopefully help out in any way. And I think that's really all I have. Again, most of my items I got from Hobby Lobby. You can obviously change up whatever pot you decide to put your little weeping willow in. You can make it look more like the John Derian pot, or you can pick a completely different one because it's all yours to customize, baby. I have a couple more DIYs in mind. I just got to find the time to do it since DIYs take so much longer to do, obviously, than just showing you guys cool things in my apartment. So, yeah. But yeah, let me know down below if you have any remakes that you want me to do that you've seen and that you might have missed out on during the crazy hype of 2020 with holiday stuff. With that, I'm off. I hope you guys are having an awesome yet spooky week, and I'm gonna go live in my tree now. Bye!